Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Been talking a lot about recruiting because Tennessee coming off possibly the biggest recruiting weekend since Josh Heupel has arrived at Tennessee. I've talked about the #1 edge rusher in the country, the potential for Tennessee to flip him from USC. I've also talked about the wide receiver position. Tennessee had 2 elite 5-star prospects on campus this past weekend, and I think some of the comments, some of the quotes, some of the reports coming out of those 2 official visits, pretty good for the Vols. Go back and watch that video if you missed it. But I also want to talk about the offensive line because Glenn Ellerbe is a guy that's kind of been put under the spotlight. He's kind of been put on the hot seat at times when it comes to recruiting. I do believe that that's fair criticism, right? The first couple of cycles at Tennessee, Glenn Ellerbe missed, but I think he's done a good job in the class of 24, adding Bennett Warren, Max Anderson, William Satterwhite, Gage Ginther. I think going and getting a legitimate 5-star prospect like Lance Hurd is absolutely huge. A young guy, a sophomore, he was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. I think Glenn Ellerbe has the potential in this class of 2025 to do something special. 4-star offensive lineman Nick Moore tweeted out this picture. This is from the past weekend of official visits. You've got Juan Gaston, Jacoby Ward, Nick Moore, Dontrell Glover, and look right over there on the right-hand side, David Sanders rocking the shades. That is some elite prospects. Look who's behind them. You've got George McIntyre ready to take that snap. But we all know the weekend was headlined by 5-star offensive tackle David Sanders. That's the guy that everybody was talking about coming out of the weekend. Now, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, on Instagram, on message boards talking about the fact that at the dinner, they misspelled David Sanders' name. Well, I think it's a pretty simple typo. They put Davis Sanders, and yes, the S is on the keyboard right beside the D. Somebody made a simple mistake. How would David Sanders react? Is he mad? Is he upset? Is he pissed off? No. You can see he took to Instagram, and Big Dave Sanders says they might have spelled my name wrong, but we all know it's a little rocky to get to the top. GBO. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Is David Sanders a Vol lock? It's starting to sound to me like Tennessee is trending for the big offensive tackle, the #1 offensive tackle in the country, the #2 overall player in the country. I think he's the guy that's going to take you to the next step. We talk about peer recruiting and the great job that Ethan Utley has done, the great job that George McIntyre has done. If you get David Sanders in the boat, then maybe some guys like Jamie French are going to pull the trigger and jump in with the University of Tennessee in the class of 2025. Some interesting comments. We're going to hear some words from George McIntyre. Is it a spoiler alert? We're going to talk about David Sanders and his official visit, but as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff real quick. Hit the thumbs up, quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel, and I would appreciate it. As I say in every video, we're not experts or insiders here. This channel is all about being a fan, for the fans, by the fans. We're reacting to the news, to the reports, to the rumors, to the message board chatter. That's what we do here. Fans being fans, for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss the live streams or the videos. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, it's NCAA night. We'll be playing at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're also going to be announcing how you can be a part of the official EA Sports College Football 25 Talkin VAWLS Online Dynasty. Be here tomorrow night for that. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be talking a little bit of recruiting, so come hang out for that as well. But let's jump into it. Let's talk a little David Sanders, and let's start with George McIntyre. He put this out on Twitter. Said, never felt more like home. George was here for his official visit to the University of Tennessee as well. Of course, been committed for quite some time, been working the recruiting trails, probably peer recruiting harder than anybody, along with Ethan Utley. Those guys are out there hitting the pavement and trying to get guys to come join them on Rocky Top, something that I've said multiple times about George. I love the fact that he was always recruiting guys like David Sanders to play with him, not to play at a particular school. So that is benefiting George McIntyre in this relationship, and we'll get into those quotes from David Sanders here in just a second. But if you look on the screen, you can see there George McIntyre holding the commit championship for the photo shoots, right? And I get it, man. I get it. Some of you old-timers, you're like, why are they taking pictures? Why are they wearing dark mode? Why are they doing this? Well, look what the 2 kids are wearing. They're wearing smoky gray and dark mode. And, yeah, George McIntyre is holding that championship that you can only do the photo shoot with if you are a Tennessee commit. Well, guess what? David Sanders right there got his hand on the prize. Little question there. Do you think this is a spoiler? Is this a little teaser of what's going to be coming from David Sanders Jr., who was on campus again this weekend? Let's take a look at his profile, and then we're going to kind of roll through some of the quotes here. Again, you already know, 5-star prospect, number 2 overall player in the country, 6'5", almost 6'6", 276 pounds, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, Steve Wiltfong put out an update yesterday that said this: Sanders has been to Knoxville 4 times this calendar year, including the Vols spring game in April and the 865 live event to kick off the summer. Tennessee is one of the front runners as they battle Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, Nebraska, and South Carolina. Says Sanders has built a good rapport with the current Vols class, spent a lot of time with the players on the team, likes what he's seen from Glenn Ellerbe and the staff, and says the atmosphere in Neyland is among the best that he's seen. Now, I've said it multiple times when we're talking about David Sanders, there's always a theme here, right? There's always a constant. It was Clemson in Tennessee. It was Georgia in Tennessee. It was Ohio State in Tennessee. Tennessee has always been the constant, and I feel like they are the front runners for the commitment from the big 5-star offensive tackle. Now, again, it's a big boy battle. We're going to take another listen to something that George McIntyre said coming off the visit, but let's listen to what David Sanders said. He said, "I didn't really feel the pressure from Tennessee as you do from other schools. They really want me to make my decision organically." Now, that's something, we had Anthony Agamoro on the channel for an interview, and he kind of said the same thing, and we asked him what was different, what was unique, and he said, when Josh Heupel calls, when Glenn Ellerbe calls, it's about me. It's what are you up to? What are you doing? How's your day going? How's the family? They don't pressure. They don't say, well, who have you talked to today? And I asked Anthony, I said, is that unusual? Do the other coaches, is that what they're all about? Is who have you been talking to? Where are you thinking? What are you doing? And he said 100%. He said it's unique the way that Josh Heupel and this coaching staff handles recruiting. He goes on to talk about peer recruiting. He says, I feel like George, Ethan, and those 2 guys who were committed already were my friends before I committed to Tennessee. Again, those relationships were established before the pressure to play for Tennessee came about. Says they really want me to make a decision based off of me. I don't really feel much pressure from them. They would love for me to play with them at the next level, but if not, they respect that as well. Says they treated me like a priority. They have been, even though there were so many guys here, I still felt like I was a priority for the program. Did a great job for sure. He says the one thing about Tennessee is they stay consistent. They aren't trying to do anything that they won't do once you are actually here. Now, George McIntyre was interviewed by VolQuest. I'm going to play a little clip from that, but I'm going to encourage you guys, go over to the VolQuest YouTube channel, listen to this entire interview from George McIntyre. Really, really good stuff from Austin Price. But AV asked George McIntyre about recruiting David Sanders. Let's take a listen, and you guys tell me what you think.
Yeah, just hanging out with Dave again. He's been great. He's a great guy, great player. He knows we want him bad. He knows should be a place for him. So, I can't wait. Well, I can't wait for him to,
get to a decision.
Yeah, get to a decision.
You can't wait for what, George? You can't wait for what, George? You can't. Oh, you can't wait for him to reach a decision date. I can't wait either, George, because I feel like it's starting to sound like I'm starting to read between the lines, and I get it. It's not done. We're not to the finish line. But I can't wait either, George, because I feel like Tennessee has set themselves up to land a commitment from the #1 offensive tackle in the country. What do you guys think from the interview with George McIntyre? Slip of the tongue there? David Sanders has talked about the relationships. It's not only George, it's also the Ohio State quarterback, and that's something we got to worry about. We got to keep an eye on because David Sanders still going to wrap things up. He's got the official visit to Ohio State coming up next weekend. Did Tennessee do enough? I wish we had the last shot at David Sanders here, but he will take that trip to Ohio State. He's had a longer relationship with George McIntyre, but we'll see if Tennessee has done enough. After that official visit to Ohio State, he's looking to make a decision either late July or early August. What do you guys think? Are you feeling like George McIntyre? I can't wait either, George. Do me a favor, jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got some brand new checkerboard theme merchandise, Talkin VAWLS letter theme, FUGA, Gator Hater, Buck Fama. It's all there. We've also got a baseball themed shirt. You wanted to pick that up, get as Tennessee looks. I think they're in a good place. I think Tennessee's got a shot to go win a national championship out there on the baseball field. One more game, then we're off to the final. We'll see what happens. But also shout out to the members of the channel. Appreciate the way that you guys support what we do. If you like the content, the live streams, the videos, the community aspect, whatever it is you like about this channel, think about hitting that join button over beside subscribe. You can do that for just $1 a month. Every dollar counts. We appreciate any and all support. But if not, smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Jump to the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.